Welcome, class. I'm going to tell you a story about meiosis and why it is very important. Let's begin!
Toto, this is so pointless. I don't understand why I need to do this worksheet about meiosis. I already know everything. It's not even important. Who needs to know about it? This is so stupid.
Dorothy is now in Oz. She's going to learn the lesson to why meiosis is important.
Oh no! I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. That twister sure blew me away. Where am I? Help! Help! I don't know meiosis and I'm going to fail my test. Meiosis, what is it? Oh my god! Help! Help! Oh my god, meiosis! I don't know what to do. I'm going to fail my test. What is going on? Munchkins? Why do people care so much about meiosis? Wait, what's this? A road? I should follow it.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Dorothy is going to walk on this road where she will discover new creatures and what their problem is. Dorothy will not be going home until she learns her lesson. She must know how meiosis is important.
Roar! I am a lion! Please, don't eat me. I'm just a girl.
Yeah, bro, it's okay. I just have a really important, most serious, really big issue, and I would really like your help.
Well, I'm a smart girl. I can help you.
Great. Okay, so I have a test coming up in line school, and it's on meiosis, but I don't know what meiosis 1 is or telophase 2. I would really, really like your help.
Well, I know all about meiosis 1, but I don't know about telophase 2.
Well, how about after you teach me meiosis 1, we can walk around this road, and we can find someone who can tell us about telophase 2.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get my fairy to teach you about meiosis.
That is lion dandy.
I'm gonna get my fairy.
Fairy time.
In interphase, we see chromosomes condensing much like in mitosis. Chromosomes duplicate and centrioles are produced. Prophase 1 in meiosis 1 is when each pair of homologous chromosomes join together and link at the centromere. This process is called synapsis. After synapsis occurs, something called tetrads form. This is when 4 chromatids join together. Another thing that sometimes occurs in prophase 1 is crossing over. This is when there is an exchange of chromosomal segments with homologous chromosomes. This really helps with genetic variability.
Also, in metaphase 1, 3 pairs of homologous pairs line up across the equatorial plane of the cell. In anaphase 1, 2 chromosomes of each bilivent separate and start moving toward opposite poles from the spindle. Then, the sister chromatids remain attached at their centromeres and move together towards the poles.
Okay, so then in telophase 1, do the homologous pairs finally reach the 2 poles from the spindle? Then do a haploid set of chromosomes move to each pole, with each chromosome having 2 chromatids?
Yes, and lastly, a nuclear envelope reforms around each chromosome set. The spindles then disappear and cytokinesis follows.
Cytokinesis is the next step in meiosis 1. The cell divides in a pinching furrow. The result for this ends with 2 cells that are now haploid.
OMG, that was great. You better not be lying me. So now that we figured out what meiosis 1 is, let's follow this road so we can find something who can tell us about telophase 2.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Now that the fairy and Dorothy taught the lion meiosis 1, they will all go on a hunt to find someone who can teach them about meiosis 2 and telophase 2. They will continue to walk on the yellow brick road.
Please don't hurt me. I'm just like, I'll scare you.
Oh, who am I kidding? I can't hurt you. I don't even know what meiosis 2 is.
Well, I can teach you about meiosis 2, but we don't know what telophase 2 means.
Let's go to Oz. He lives in Emerald City. He's the smartest guy in town.
Oh my gosh, yay, thank you.
You're welcome.
To get my fairy.
Fairy time.
In interphase 2, the cell is in this period for a short amount of time before it starts meiosis 2. The DNA is not replicated again during this. The nuclear membrane reappears as well. Now, prophase 2 is when the spindle apparatus reforms and the haploid chromosomes condense.
45.
Metaphase 2 is the stage when haploid chromosomes are all lined up across the equator. Also, they are positioned by the spindle fibers holding them in place. Next would be anaphase 2. This is when the sister chromatids, not the homologous chromosomes like anaphase 1, are pulled apart at the centromere by the spindle fibers. The spindle fibers pull them onto each pole. Lastly, it's telophase 2, but we all don't know what that is, but we will find out eventually. And finally, the final step is cytokinesis. This is the last point. This results in 4 haploid cells, or N, originating from one diploid parent cell. The end.
Wow, thank you so much.
Of course. Now let's go to see Oz.
Now Dorothy, the lion, and the Tin Man are going to take a walk to Emerald City to meet Oz, the smartest guy in town. They're going to ask him about telophase 2 because they were all struggling with understanding what happens.
Knock, knock.
Hi, how may I help you?
We have a question about telophase 2. We've searched far and high to find somebody who can teach us about it. Could you help us?
Yes, I can.
Who are you?
I'm Oz. I can teach you everything. Come on in. Telophase 2 is when the chromosomes reach the poles in the nuclear membrane and the nuclei start to reform. This is what it looks like. And that's what meiosis is.
That makes so much sense. I'm gonna pass my test now. Me too.
And now I understand why meiosis is so important.
Yeah, the stages are very important. And that's the story about a girl who went to a magical place where she learned a lesson of why meiosis is important.
Ha ha ha, ho ho ho, and a couple of tra-la-las. That's how we laugh a day away in the merry old land of Oz.